Mr. Grusch, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
I know the exact locations, and those locations were provided to the Inspector General and some of which to the intelligence committees. I actually had the people with the firsthand knowledge provide a protected disclosure to the Inspector General.
You can say categorically you've seen no convincing, confirmable evidence of intact spacecraft kept by the U.S. government?
No, I have seen nothing that leads me to that conclusion.
Is it possible there is some secret program that you're just not aware of?
I don't think so. I have access to anything and everything I need.
Why do you think these whistleblowers are coming forward?
Well, one, I think the recent law, which extended whistleblower protections to them and named AARO as the authorized disclosure authority, opens the door for them to come and tell us exactly what they think they saw or know about.
You believe them?
I believe that they believe what they're telling me, and my job is it's not a question of belief, right? It's a question of what can I go research. This is a typical example of the thing that we see most of. We see these all over the world, and we see these in making very interesting apparent maneuvers.
Extraterrestrial life is out there?
I think it's statistically unrealistic to think it isn't. I mean, given the vastness of the universe.
Are we going to find it on your watch?
Well, wouldn't that be fun? I mean, that would be probably the best outcome of this job.
I did it again, forgetting to put myself up on the screen. Well, I'm sorry, guys, but Sean's definitely not going to have that outcome on his watch. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Alien Addicts. Yes, I realize I do look like the wild man of Borneo, but you know, it's coming up to Christmas, and the kids, you know, you just gotta embrace it and grow this thing out. So yeah, I'm gonna be the Yorkshire Santa Claus. Tonight, guys, we're going to be speaking about my favorite person. It gave me an excuse for my very own Grusch facial feature. This is my favorite by far, and I think I'm the only one that uses this one. It's mine. That is my Grusch face. And we're going to be speaking about Sean Kirkpatrick. God bless his soul. He did a grand job, and he's moving on to better things. I think I'm getting a sore throat. I hope I'm not getting a sore throat, because Sunday, people, make sure you tune in, because we have Ashton Forbes to discuss MH370. So yeah. That is going to be this Sunday. It's actually going to be 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Without further ado, my two good friends, Ice Cream and Nick. How you doing, my lads?
Well, good.
You right, boys?
You right? I'm doing good, man. Happy it's Friday. Happy to be back.
Yeah, it's. I've been working quite hard this week, like been working away from home and trying to take in some of this information to what's going on. You know, all of a sudden, Kirkpatrick is saying, well, I've tried to get in touch with David Grusch. And David Grusch is like, has he bollocks? What's going on?
That's what I want to know. I think this is probably one of the most, if not the most important topic right now that we can talk about with when we consider the future of ufology at this point, where we're going, what is really going on. You know, Grush has been such a high topic because of all the potential that we think and we thought was there. Maybe some people still maybe think it's not there, or they do. But you know, whether or not Kirkpatrick has been this extra arm of the DoD and he's been covering things up, this would give us a little bit of clarity if we could figure out who was lying here. It's very rare, you guys, in ufology, we get a kind of a line drawn in the sand to where we can really narrow down and look at one thing and say, okay, here's conclusive evidence of where we should go as far as these emails, because supposedly John Greenwald's out there FOIAing for emails talking about whether or not Grush actually was sent these emails from Kirkpatrick and the team at AARO to show up and give testimony. So if we can narrow that down and get a hold of those emails, we can say, hey, is AARO lying? Is Kirkpatrick lying? Are they covering this thing up? Is it what we think AARO is? Or is Grush lying? And we can kind of show that he's lying now and start to kind of throw all the rest of that out at this point. What do you think?
Yeah, it's quite strange because the fact that Grush was complaining that he wanted a plane ticket and almost given like excuses that he didn't want to go. And at the moment, listening to both sides of the stories, Kirkpatrick and Grush, it's hard to make out who I want to believe. And the saying always goes, trust no one. But in this situation, I'm going, oh, no, who's going who? You know, it's like he said.
We lost you there
She
for a
says
minute.
sort of stuff at the moment. So, yeah. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We can now, yeah. We lost you for a split second, but you are back. Who do you want to believe?
Who, Nick or me?
Both of you.
Go ahead, Nick. You first.
None of them. None of them. Kirkpatrick hasn't really sold me entirely. You know, he doesn't sound that convinced of what he's seen, especially in the skiffs. Grush, I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe him anymore, where he's getting his information from, you know, the gang that he's been hanging around with, the Corbells and all that. I don't know. I'm the one that just sits back and I look at.
I like how you said the Corbells. It's like the mafia.
It is, isn't it? It's like a groupie. I just take a step back and I look at it and I try to make a clear picture of it. But at the moment, it's so I have no idea. And people should do an investigation, like you said, into the emails to say who's telling the truth. But at the moment, I have no bloody idea. What do you think, Ice Cream?
I mean, for me, at the end of the day, I want to know where this whole thing is going. So I'm just rooting for Team Truth. If Grush, if the email, and this is why I make such a point about these emails, is this is like, usually in ufology, we just don't have something so cut and dry where we can pin it to somebody. And I want to know if Grush is lying right now, because I want to get that out of here at this point. I want to get everything that he's been doing, because it kind of shows that these congressional hearings, all these skiffs, any kind of hope that is there, I don't want it anymore. I don't want it there. And it's the same thing with Kirkpatrick at this point. Like, if he's lying, good, let him retire in December. Get him out of there at that point. Then we can just learn exactly what we learned from AARO. So I'm just Team Truth at this point, man. I think we really need to barely bear down, on what happened with this. And I think we can go from there, because it's going to paint the landscape, guys. If we get if John Greenwald gets FOIA'd emails that show that Grush not only ignored the emails, because you got to think about what Kirkpatrick is saying. He's saying that these emails were declined, that these appearances and these times they were supposed to talk were declined. There's a difference between ghosting an email and declining it. And if we get multiple declines from Grush, you kind of got to throw him out at that point. He's involved for sure.
You see, it doesn't make sense, that, for me, because Grush is obviously an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
Why would he leave a paper trail of, no, I decline your offer?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Why would you leave a paper trail and then say he's never got in touch with me?
I mean, it just depends on whether or not he thinks we can actually get access to them. I mean, these emails between them, though, Ali, like they're not going to be easy to get to. Like the FOIAs aren't even guaranteeing that we're going to get them. So a lot of this stuff is maybe just hidden behind barriers. They're just easily covered lies. You know what I mean? That's why I think everyone should be pushing for that. We should be looking to end this Grusch Kirkpatrick feud for sure, as soon as we can, so we can move forward.
We also got bird shit. Tim, I have to be careful how I say that.
I heard something else, but yeah.
How's it pronounced? Bird shit, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Bird shit, yeah.
Bird shit. How do you pronounce it? Because every time you guys say it, it sounds like you're saying bird shit.
Bird shit? I think it's bird shit.
Bird shit. Bird shit.
It's just going to be an accent thing, Ali. You know.
Yeah.
It's going to be different.
Tim, I still want you on the channel. Don't be put off by that.
Oh, yeah, it'd be nice to talk to him.
Yeah, well, I just have to introduce him as Tim. I wouldn't want to say his surname. But yeah, he's just been in a skiff.
Yeah.
And when I heard that Tim had been in a skiff, I got excited. I think, has he been in the skiff with David Grusch?
Not yet.
It's not exciting. He went into a skiff and they repeated everything apparently that he'd already heard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good waste of taxpayers' money, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. If they're not going to get anything further, yeah. Yeah, the clearances are a super huge problem, you know. But I guess to kind of push back a little bit on what you ask, Ali, is more is like, why would he leave a paper trail? But at the same time, like, why is Kirkpatrick not releasing the declining emails himself? Why is he letting Grusch sit there and call him a liar for no reason? So it's like this push-pull, you know, it's like we're in the middle. I don't think there's enough evidence right now to say who is lying more officially than the other. And you know what I mean? That's why I think the emails are so important to get down to, man. Why do you think he's not releasing them?
Well, I would probably say he's not releasing them because he's not retiring. He's going into another career. True. You know, and Kirkpatrick will have no reason to be petty and go, oh, look, I have emailed you. Here you go, UFO Twitter. He doesn't give a shit about UFO Twitter. He probably doesn't give a shit about what you think of him at all. You know, that's the beauty of this. This guy's done a job. He's been paid to do that job. Some may argue that he's not done that job well. How do you know? How do you know what the actual? How do you know you heard? How do you know exactly what that job was supposed to do? Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah.
No, I know what you mean, but I still think it's more than UFO Twitter. I mean, ARRO's Congress mandated. I mean, they're going to want to know whether or not he's really looking into what we're spending money on talking to these guys. So, I mean, I still think Congress would like to see those emails and see if he declined them or not. You know?
I mean, let's play devil's advocate here, because I mean, it's no secret. I've been on the Grusch train for quite some time. I'm partial to a bit of David Grusch. I think he seems like a nice chap. Kirkpatrick, you know, I've seen him a few times, just like you guys. I've probably seen him as much as everybody else. You don't see a lot of him. You see a couple of interviews, and then you see him talking about the main thing that they see is orb-like things. Do I trust the guy? Do I trust ARRO? I don't really know much about ARRO other than what they've told me it is. You know, we've not got any insiders that go to the ARRO headquarters that can look through everything they're doing other than what they're telling us. Just like NASA to me. You got to take their word for it.
No, I think this day and age, you know, don't tell us, show us. You know, I'll be interested to see what footage they're actually looking at, to be honest with you. Like they said in the intro, Kirkpatrick was saying, it's just dots. These are balls. It's nothing significant to back up to say it's an extraterrestrial. I'll be interested to see what the public's going to be putting forward now they updated their website, ARRO's website. And I guarantee, guys, it's going to be a whole bunch of nothing. I don't know if we can actually. Have they actually got a submission already? Is it already up and going? Because I haven't really looked into it. Because I was listening to Weaponized podcast and mentioned about the website. And I'm going to take public submissions. So I have no idea. I'll have a look
What's
at it.
What's this
now,
with ARRO's website with public submissions?
Yeah. They've managed to set it up. But I don't know if it's up and running.
I don't know. Ice cream, is that
I'll
website
be interested
up
to
and
see
running?
what.
I know Knapp and them were complaining that it looked really bad. Like they could have had a high schooler do it.
Oh yeah, that was it, wasn't
yeah.
it? They said it looked
I think
like
it is
something
up.
from the 90s.
Yeah. Which I mean, it makes sense, man. They don't want to spend any more money on making it glitzy.
When
and
you guys
glammy,
find it, I got to see
I'll have a
this.
look now.
I've got to see this website. It's so bad.
Yeah.
But what do you
go
think?
to
What do you?
the-
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Oh no, just go to the ARRO website. There's a submission. You can go in there and
Have you got it? Let's see the website.
What do you think, Ali? Do you think they're going to get any like good submissions, or do you think they're going to sanitize everything? I mean, what's your thoughts on this right now?
I mean, what's a good submission?
Yeah.
We've had loads of submissions all over YouTube, all over Twitter, all over Reddit. What is going to be the difference? Because it's an ARRO website.
Yeah.
How is that? That's what I don't get. How is that going to make any difference when people that we've got that much social media platforms? I mean, unless they've got somebody, maybe they're going to hire Mick West to do his debunk work and say, well, that one can pass. No, that one can't pass. That one, yeah, we'll let that one in.
I mean, how many troll videos are going to get uploaded to this thing? I mean, they're going to have to go through so many like penis videos and crap that's going to get sent in. You know what I mean? Well, it's going to happen. Yeah, there's going to be porn. There's going to be everything sent into this thing.
You're going to get ones with hidden messages on there that they won't spot.
Right. I mean, it's just
putting ideas in people's heads.
Look at this. Look at this. Can you see the website here? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, submit a U.S. government UAP-related program activity report.
Hold on, I'm on that actual page now because there's an actual penalty they've put on there. Let me just grab the page.
Let's see this.
Okay.
There's a penalty, yes, spreading misinformation. Here we are, boys. 2 seconds. Right, can you see this?
How is this going to stand up?
They're going to come take your iPhone if you put in a dick video.
So this is the penalty. I'm going to read this. This form is to be used as an official business with the Department of Defense. Knowing and willfully false reporting can be punished by fine or imprisonment or both. Blah blah. Section C111. Accidentally falsifying information may have a negative effect on your security clearance, employment, job status, up to and including denial or resolution of security clearance, if that made any sense, or removal of. I can't read this stuff, man. I'm yeah.
So hang about.
Well, this is for government witnesses, though. This isn't for like general public, though. Yeah. This is.
I was thinking then if fucking Doris uploads a hot air balloon to there thinking it's a UFO, she's gonna get
no way. No, this is I am a former current U.S. government employee, service member, contract panel, or firsthand knowledge of the program. Yeah, so this is I think more for that. I don't know if this is the public one just yet. Don't click that. They're gonna get you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're gonna fill some in here, Nick.
Yeah, no, fuck that. It's not that. So that is the only submission form that's on the website at the moment. But it still does. I understand it doesn't look that great and nothing professional. Are they taking it seriously though, ARRO? What do you guys think? Is it just put there just to keep the public happy and keep the conversation going? But is the conversation going in the right direction?
How much money is going to ARRO? Do we even know?
I'm not sure. I mean, if we have a chance to take them to take it serious, they're going to take it serious until they run into the first Homer Simpson video that gets uploaded, and then they're going to say, "Yeah, we don't want to do this." You know, we're not going to pay somebody to sit here. That's what I can't believe. I mean, how many people you'd have to sit there to pay to comb through all this crap? They're going to get trolled, guaranteed. They're going to get trolled.
Yeah.
I mean, any company that does any kind of contest gets trolled like that. It's going to happen here, especially. So I don't know how they're going to deal with it, man.
Well, and obviously with AI technology, I've been seeing videos of drones making like a massive like skeleton in the sky. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It was like almost like hugging a building. It looked so real, and it turned out to be fake. I don't know if you guys seen that. And I've seen so many videos that I'm thinking,
it wasn't even drones. Oh, it was just.
No, it was fake. The whole thing was like AI generated, but it looks so real. And I'm seeing videos after video of thinking, wow, that looks amazing. That looks really real. And it turned out to be fake. I'll wait into these submissions that's going to be coming in just to see outstanding work that's going to be generated. The time will come, guys. The time will come.
But you can't trust anybody's footage now. Anybody that sends you anything.
Exactly. It's hard.
There's got a computer that's got some software, which is pretty much everybody.
Yeah, it's so hard now, man. We're getting closer and closer to where it's really going to be impossible to do it for the most part. Yeah, I mean, AI
is almost like it's by design.
It's definitely not convenient. You know, when we're trying to get some answers, the timing on it sucks for sure.
That's the thing with this, and I'm not saying this is anything to do with it, because it's the tech we've got now was always going to be inevitable. But like with AI and what we're going to be getting with what the general public is going to be able to do with AI video, it's going to become to a stage where you won't be able to look at anything and go, is that because I think people will make very subtle AI videos that will look really good, and we'll be looking at them going, is this real? Where the actual computer software will even be able to know what, a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra's camera would look like, how it would focus this, that, and the other. It would do all that stuff. It's going to be crazy. You won't be able to look at anything and say, this is the money shot. Because it's just going to be everywhere.
Yeah,
everyone will have the ability to see.
Yeah, which is like the weird part about. I mean, I guess open up for public submission, that's fine. But I don't know how long that's really going to matter. At some point, they're going to have to, if they keep going with ARRO or they make a new program or what have you. However, they continue to do this. If they do, they're going to have to probably turn inward again and just kind of go with military submissions they can verify. And then at that point, they're in full control of whatever they're going to release.
I suppose to verify it would have to be, we need the raw file uploaded so we can see that it's come from an iPhone 11 or whatever, or, come from a GoPro. We can see the data there where this has come from, that it's not been tampered with.
Yeah, I think they would have to start right there, Ali. It's a good point. It's like when they take these public submissions, they get the files. They need to look at the files. They need to make sure that they're raws. Yeah,
that's the first thing they need to do,
for sure.
To see if this has been uploaded to a computer, if it's been messed about, if it's had an edit done to it or anything like that, if it's got any cuts in it. It's going to be interesting.
Sorry to interrupt.
I want to see.
Do you want to see this fake drone footage?
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm always up for a bit of fake drone footage.
So that is fake.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. And I was thinking, God, that's great drone technology. You look at the formation, and then someone did analysis, and the whole thing's fake. But that is showing you what someone can do on a fucking phone. This is a phone. You know what I mean? This is the technology we have now, guys.
That's very cool.
So
it is pretty cool.
It's so cool, isn't it? But so I mentioned that the blur and there's motion.
Have you seen that dome in Vegas?
Oh yeah, that place is
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
it's incredible too. Yeah.
That really is.
Yeah, there was a
amazing.
U2 concert. Did you see the U2
Yeah, yeah,
concert?
I saw that, yeah.
Live inside. I was like, fuck me, that's amazing. Yeah, talk about Project Bluebeam, which is a fake thing, by the way. You know, I'm just gonna say it's not gonna happen. But no,
shit, we'll
it
see,
would
man. I
look
don't know.
something like that. They could
I'm
turn
usually
that thing into a bloody UFO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm usually the first one to laugh at Bluebeam, man, but I don't know, man. Things keep getting weirder. What do you guys think about this rumor that I mean, it's kind of rumor, it's kind of not, because I mean, I think they pulled it actually from the Oak Ridge website. What do you think about Kirkpatrick going to work at Oak Ridge? Battelle, I mean, Battelle ran National Lab.
Yeah, do we have is there any like more info on that?
No, all that I've heard is that
I've heard people speak about that. That's
right.
About the ice cream. I have not heard much about it.
Right. So what I've heard about it is that they pulled that image that was actually from their site that they were putting him on as staff, but it's been removed now. That's what I mean. That's just what I've heard.
Was it on the site? Do we know 100% that it was on that site?
I don't know if it's 100%. That's why I said it's rumor. But yeah, I mean, supposedly it was on that site. It's right there. It's like the guy goes ahead and denies everything.
That
and goes to work for
wild.
Battelle. It's like, come on,
he's going to work for them.
I know, and like I've seen people like go over that, Ollie. I mean, rumor or not, I've seen people like just really blow it off and not even talk about it. And it's like, dude, that's whether you think it's BS or not. That's one of those things that we need to look at, though. Like, we need to actually get some hard information about this, where he's going. We got to find some truth, man. We can't blow stuff like that off.
It's definitely not out there. It's definitely not out there with the guy's credentials.
Oh, you mean like for him? For him to go there? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's definitely possible for him to go do that for sure. For sure. But it's just like the company where everybody thinks the Roswell shit went. It's like that's who's talking to you. It's like, God almighty.
Like, if he does go there, that's interesting.
Incredibly so. Yeah, it is to me. I think it's definitely something that needs to at least be looked at seriously and questioned about Kirkpatrick.
But people aren't really talking about that. Like like you said, people like just brush over these things because you get the rumor. And has anybody got the screenshot of that? Is there a screenshot of?
I think Colehart. It was the original post for it.
I've not seen the script. I've only heard people speak about it because I usually listen to podcasts when I'm driving. So I don't look at what's going on.
I might have bookmarked it. Let me see if I did. There's a lot of, there's definitely conversation, but like, I'll never name names, bro. I'll never get into this, the drama on shows, but like I've seen people really just blow over it. And it's like, man, if you're really looking for the truth here, like you would have to at least say this is pretty weird. There's the connection, you know.
Who's the guy that's taken over again? You told me this the other day. Who's taking over?
Timothy Phillips, but he's interim though. He's not like going to be 100% the guy. They're going to have him there once Kirkpatrick leaves in December. Yeah, temporary, exactly, until they figure out like a permanent replacement for him.
Do you know anything about this guy?
Dude, his LinkedIn is gone. I tried to find it. I looked for it. I found the link for it. ODNI, everything with him. You click the link. See ya. It's gone.
I heard a show the other day, which was quite funny, because it went Timothy Phillips, because he was reading it and he went, Timothy Phillips is going to take over ARRO, and he went, Timothy Phillips, as if to say, oh God, he's useless. Like, I was like, you don't know him. You don't know him. Just be honest. You don't know who it is.
He's I guess he's been like the senior national intelligence since like 06. I'm like, I was able to get like a couple of things. But they think like his geospatial intelligence collection, mission management expertise, that's what they're writing and saying that he's going to be able to bring to AARO. But I don't know anything else about him. I wanted to know a bunch more, even for tonight and tomorrow. But I mean, when the LinkedIn's not there, I can't look at where he was, you know, and then I can't look back. I don't know. I don't know how to look any further at that.
So many people are like, UFO Twitter has gone UFO X, gone crazy. And I've seen people say that Kirkpatrick got fired, this, that, and the other. He's not got fired.
Nope.
The guy's moved on.
No.
He got a better offer. That's exactly that's how this shit works. He's been noticed, and somebody's gone, want that guy. I'm gonna made a phone call. Sean, yeah. What they're paying you? Yeah, okay, we'll double that. There you go, done.
Do you think it's just done for clickbait? Oh, he was fired, so it's more or less you're going to go click on it because there's more drama. I mean, this is Twitter we're talking about here. I mean, I'm new to Twitter, but my fucking God, I'm like, what is this?
It's a wild world.
What is this? I'm off social media. I'm not on it, but I had to do it because to keep up to date with everything.
I think, Nick, it's clickbait, but I think that there are a lot of people that, proverbially want to set him on fire. I mean, there's people that think he's holding back disclosure, and they're willing to throw, blood on anybody they think stands in the way, for sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I just don't know. No disrespect, everybody who's watching this that thinks we're going to get disclosure soon. I don't know what your picture of that is.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I agree. I guarantee whatever you imagine it to be is going to be the complete opposite.
Well, it's not just another offer
Wait until next year.
why he's leaving, Ali. It's because he even probably sees that he is not going to have anything to offer himself to the people through ARRO. So he's like, I can't do anything else here. When he says his mission's done, I believe him that he thinks his mission's done. I believe that. And so he's thinking, well, if I can make more money, I can't provide anything else. I'm going to get the hell out of here and go make some more money. I get it completely. But there's things, though, that I don't know if he was able to really complete his mission. And what I mean by that is, they asked him in that big interview they did, the Pentagon released, and he said, the guy asked him, did you have access to all the imagery, satellite imagery, everything you wanted? And he says, yeah, any satellite imagery, anything I wanted. Where it's like, hey, did you have access to the DOE's satellite imagery? They got 15 bands of coverage that they go on those multi thermal imaging cameras that the DOE has up in the sky. If you don't have access to those, buddy, you don't have access to everything. So it's like he might think his mission is done for what he can find out, but I'm still not sold that he's actually had the keys that get behind every single door like he says he does. I don't know.
I want to see if he's leaving. I want to see Kirkpatrick go, and I think this is probably. I was thinking of UFO channels for him to go on to, and I thought Theories of Everything is probably one of the ones that you're more likely to go on, because the way Kurt works is very he's very scientific.
Yeah.
But then I thought, if that guy's going to go on anywhere, it would probably be Lax Friedman. Because I'd like to see Kirkpatrick on a podcast, so you can somebody, because all you see is him being spoken to a few times in little small 10-minute interviews. You don't see much of Kurt, of Sean. You don't see Sean. You just hear about what he's doing with ARRO. I like to know a little bit about these people that are doing jobs like that.
Yeah.
What makes them tick.
Yeah, for sure. If you can sit down and talk to him, you could definitely learn more of what kind of guy he is. Is he a big storytelling guy, fishtail kind of guy, or, well, he seems really reserved from what I hear. He seems like probably pretty straight-laced guy, but.
Am I right? He's got a lot of rings.
I think so. If I try to think about it, he might.
A lot of rings. Yeah. I'd like to see those rings up close and personal.
I'd like to see the rings he puts on if he gets that Battelle money. Let me see those Battelle rings there, man.
Would you think it's linked to the Freemasons or something?
I don't know, mate. I'll be honest with you. I kind of believe in all that sort of stuff. That there are people that control the world, and when a man's got too many rings on, it always rings a bell. Pardon the pun, but it rings a bell for me.
No, that's very true, Ollie, because my great granddad, he was a very high up in the Freemasons. We still got his actual briefcase with all his stuff in it. And I clearly remember he would have rings, but he had one on his finger that had the actual Freemason logo in it. I think we still got it actually. But yeah, I'll be interested to see because they give you a sign. Remember the Disclosure Project with the guy that had the Freemason on the tie? They're telling you, man. They're saying, not all.
Right in
I
your
know a lot of
face.
good. I know a lot of good Freemasons. Our neighbor, he's hyping a
Yeah, yeah.
Freemason. He's a lovely guy, but I say there is a whole new other level that we don't know about, especially Congress people.
One of my
people
best
and
friends is a
politicians.
Freemason. Very true.
Is he telling you any details and about disclosure?
No, it's just a cool little club where people meet up and just blokes having a. It's an excuse to get away from the wives these days. I wonder if the rumor, speaking of UFO Twitter, if the why not? We will probably speak about the Mexican alien mummies in a bit. People, calm down. What do you think? Have any of you two heard the rumors that Corbell's in trouble?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Same with
What do
James
you make
Fox
of that?
as well.
Yes.
He's been abnormally quiet the last 4 or 5 months. Yeah. I mean, ever since the congressional hearing, he really hasn't done anything since then. I mean, he could be in trouble. He could feel like it's kind of his time to stand aside a little bit and let people like Grush have the spotlight. I don't know. It's possible, sure. What was it? The Mosul orb footage that he probably wasn't supposed to have, or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
because
that's the rumor is that it's something like that.
Yeah.
But have you noticed he's kind of a little bit shaky? If I'm doing something where I'm speaking to somebody, normally if I'm speaking to my dad, because my dad sometimes makes me nervous.
Whose doesn't?
my leg will go and I'll start to shake. Like I'll have a normal conversation, but from childhood, I don't know. I've got this thing where my leg will it'll jutter under the table, and he's going, "What's up? Give up with your leg." I went, "You do that to me, you old bastard." But he's got a little bit of a, and I don't know if I remember him having that kind of shakiness. And I've noticed him doing this, which I sometimes do this if I'm interviewing somebody, which it does help, but he does this a lot when he's kind of like, and it's kind of to calm yourself. But I have noticed that kind of like a bit of a jitteriness, like he's on edge. Not like he's got something wrong with him or drugs or anything like that. I'm not saying anything like that. It is like he's on edge. There's like that jitter to. It does look like there's an element of stress, and you wonder if this from one guy having like so much success with the Bob Lazar documentary to going on the Joe Rogan show 3 or 4, I think it's 3 or 4 times now. Having success with weaponized has a time limit on it.
Which makes no sense, but yeah.
It makes no sense I mean, I'll be honest with you, I really like that show. I really like the show Weaponized. I think it's a very entertaining. I think some of the stuff that the guests that he has on there, I think they're probably spinning his shit, but that probably happens on every UFO channel.
Sure. Yeah,
I think it's a great show. I don't know why it has a time limit on it, unless that time limit is going to go to something different. But
well, I wonder if they're kind of looking at this thing like, I mean, look, even if you think Knapp and Corbell are totally spinning a yarn with all of this and they're this grifting and blah, 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 even if you think that or not, if they're smart at all, they see that if you think Corbell's shaking, ufology's shaking right now. Like I said last week, I mean, what happens if the Schumer amendment doesn't go through? What happens if we don't get anything out of the Grusch griff again with the next one? And like, they're running out of excuses, and he's probably wondering, how long can we go with this thing? And that's probably worrisome for him, because he's been the one that's been really in the public saying, hey, Bob Lazar, hey, we got this congressional hearing, Grush, we're telling all. He's been behind the scenes. He's putting out 29 pumps. He's got a lot in this thing, man. And he might be worried about what's going to happen next if this thing all falls next year.
You've also got to think the backlash has been receiving as well.
True.
It's very harsh online. I think that's probably, it does take a toll on people when you get constant shit talk at you. I mean, it's quite
100%.
bad, so I think it does take a toll, and it's all the part of the grift, isn't it, really? That is UFO Twitter. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I was looking at it. I thinking, wow, people are really fucking nasty in this field. And it really doesn't any necessary need to be that sort of aggressive about it. But yeah, you have to take that into consideration as well.
You see stuff on UFO Twitter when where people are saying, I want you to die, I want you to it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're crazy, man. Yeah,
lights in the sky, chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Yeah, especially when neither side really has hard evidence, which kind of ties back to like the Grush and Kirkpatrick thing that we've been talking about from the start here, which is there's not really hard evidence on either side yet. I would like to lean towards Grush if I had to really lean, beginning because I don't trust the DOD, man. I don't trust ARRO at all. I don't trust Kirkpatrick. I don't. No. And then the Patel rumor, if we even get a hint that that's true at all, I'll just kind of sit back and go, yeah, okay, well, I feel comfortable now with my stance on that completely, which I want to find comfort in, like a stance for once, guys. I mean, don't you feel like you want to just kind of hang your hat on something in ufology lately? I feel like we haven't been able to do that, where we've been able to look at,
absolutely,
okay, this came out and this is real. Oh, okay, hang my hat, comfort in that. It's like everything is constantly up in the air. It's just, God, it's exhausting.
We've had everything. I
know.
Paper mache aliens, Peru flying aliens, the face peelers, which we're gonna have Wrecker back on next week.
Cool.
On the Sunday. I thought that. Do you know what? Just quickly on that, because that's going to be a hell of a show next week. That's going to be next Sunday, people. Did you guys watch the? Have you watched the Timothy Alberino?
Not yet.
Them getting back.
No, not yet.
Shit. That is incredible, because whether that is true or not, that is 100%. And everybody says this. Everybody says this phrase in this field. You hear it all the time. That is boots on the ground. I don't care whether you what you think their intentions were. Doug went out there. That's Wrecker, American Vindictor. He trained those, and in the video you can watch it on Timothy Alberino's show. He trains those people how to use weapons properly. He trains the weapons that they already had. He trained them how to clean them. He trained them not to point them in people's faces, because they were doing that. Timothy interviews all of them, because he speaks the lingo. I think, yeah, he's Spanish, isn't it? Peru, yeah, I should know this more. Mrs. from Ecuador. But he was speaking to like all the people of the village, the tribesmen, all of them, the generals there, they're like the people that were looking after the villagers. And one thing that stood out is that what these people were saying is that it's 100% not fucking miners with jetpacks. It's I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a fantastic watch. One of the really interesting thing, two metal large figures that were trying to take this girl were speaking Spanish to each other. So I expect, and I expected, like, there was, no no kind of conversation was. I didn't expect a conversation to go on between the two fucking metal aliens, but one was speaking Spanish with what she said was a gringo accent, and one had and one was local, had a local accent.
It's interesting.
So the things that were trying to take the kid that were flying, that had, she said they had hover boots, and tall, huge heads, metal heads, were speaking in Spanish, but one had a Western accent. So that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's a crazy story, and it brings it back for me that you have to watch it.
no, I'm going to. I plan on it tomorrow. I was gonna watch it in the morning. Yeah.
Is it the full documentary?
It's kind of like so basically Timothy does a discussion, and then he goes into, he shows bits of them arriving. He shows like Doug training them with the guns, how to clean them, how to look after the weapons, how to respect the weapon, how to respect each other when they've got weapons near each other. Timothy goes out and they eventually speak to the little girl. The little girl was terrified of 15 years old teenage girl. She was absolutely terrified of Doug and Timothy. She was, and you could see that when he's interviewing her. She kept her distance away from both of them.
I mean, just because of their accents. I mean, is that kind of?
I don't. They didn't kind of clarify. I'm gonna ask Doug when he comes on next week why he thinks was it because they're both quite tall lads, and the two figures, the two things that tried to get her were tall. But I 100% believe that little girl, teenage girl that she saw, that happened to her. You can kind of, and when I show my wife it as well, she's like, she's not acting, she's seen something. And I think if you're gonna do something like that, for whatever reason, whether this is something to do with trafficking, whether this is something to do with I don't know. So people say it's something to do with the fact that their blood's not been tainted by anything. I'm not even going to speculate what it's.
I'm sure there's a million theories. Yeah, I'm sure there are. Yeah. But
one thing's for sure. I think if you're going to do something like that, that's a great place to do it. A small little village that, nothing that is probably not going to get out there, but in this situation, it did. I don't think it. I mean, it doesn't sound alien when you're hearing that the girl is saying that it was two Spanish speaking people. One had a local accent, the other had a Westerner's accent, but speaking Spanish.
If I got the story right, when she was captured by these aliens on these hovercraft boards or whatever, they tried to put this powder up her nose.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, well, if these were extraterrestrials that were very highly advanced, why would they try to put this powder up this?
Apparently, they rubbed something all over her skin, on her face, that she said the face started to go numb.
Did they not take any samples of that? Is this the girl that had the neck?
Yeah.
Sliced. Did she not mention that when she first they had the incident? Because I can't remember her mentioning that at all.
So we got like basically we got the Peruvian news where we got pictures of her. We didn't really get you didn't really get full interviews. You saw some clips of her, but you didn't see it. You saw pictures. And I kind of get it now when you see this little girl, she looks terrified. absolutely terrified.
It
but
sounds
yeah.
a bit woohoo, doesn't it?
It
sounds a bit.
yeah,
of
it
course.
really
Do you
does.
know what
Yeah,
I
of
mean? It's
course.
there's
Yeah.
part of me that really wants to believe it. You know, I've seen
Yeah.
the reactions of the people. I can't wait to see this footage or the
Yeah,
full
me too.
documentary.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
It is fascinating, but the also this you get the people in the village kept drawing stuff for these guys.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
they were drawing like these crafts. So these apparently these things have actual crafts as well.
Very, very aerial school-esque right there, you know?
Yeah,
Kids and the drawings.
absolutely.
And I'm interested to see the drawings and maybe put them side by side to the aerial school stuff and see if there's any kind of similarity, whether it's craft or look. I mean, it sounds like the creatures are different, but maybe craft similar. I don't know.
What's going on with James Fox?
He's not getting paid the way he wants to get paid, you know?
I saw a tweet of him, flying in normal economy, and he's in the middle. He's like,
yeah, supposedly that 1091 company is not paying money, not paying residuals. I guess they do. I think Cambion did a bunch of stuff on this where he was talking about how this company like does all the documentaries, does all the movies around UFOs, everything like that. And I guess they're looking like they're going to go under or something. So the residual money isn't going to be there anymore. And they can't actually pay out the rest of the money that they already owe.
oh,
So, yeah, I
shit.
mean, if Michael J. Fox and
Michael J. Fox.
or you know what I mean? James Fox. We were talking about Corbell earlier shaking, and I thought Parkinson's, and I was thinking Michael J. Fox the whole time. So then now we get to a Fox, and now I'm going to say that. Yeah, but James Fox, might be looking to find some new representation when it comes to making his documentaries or movies. Who knows? Maybe Greer. I don't know. Maybe they go into business together. Wouldn't that be interesting? If Greer puts his own thing together, but he's probably got enough money to. That's for sure.
Well, Greer just gets third face to make them for him.
For who?
Greer just gets third face to make his documentaries for him.
That's true, man. They know the way around the editing station, huh?
It's a good relationship. It works.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the alien footage he promised us for his Brazilian documentary.
Oh man, don't get me started, man.
I clearly remember him saying he has the footage and he's going to show it to everyone. I clearly remember it on
Are you
Richard's
talking
show.
about
I remember it.
The Logan Paul one?
No,
this is different.
Is the old case. Oh, bloody hell, it slips my mind. That was back in Brazil, the
Virginia.
Oh, the slimy one.
Virginia asset.
Yeah. He did an interview. Fox did an interview with I can't remember the guy's name, but some news network where they asked him if the footage was going to be in the movie, and he's like, I can't really confirm, but we've located footage, and he danced around it, but he said like everything that would insinuate that it was going to be in the movie before the movie came out, which is dirty, man. It's dirty. And then later on, early on this year, he talked about how he's like, well, if the footage ever came out anyway, people would just say it's fake. So, I mean, I just think he takes advantage of all that stuff. And he just, that's why he doesn't put the proof out there. I mean, there probably isn't any anyway, but yeah. I don't know. I don't feel bad. Like, I feel bad like for him and his family, if he has family or whatever. But as far as like him not being able to, promote movies and stuff that way anymore, we don't need it, man. Like, we don't need stuff like that. If you want to make documentaries or films or stuff where it's meant to be fun and you're not coming out and you're not promoting it with like bullshit, yeah, that's fine. I don't have any issue with that. Make all the money you want off a fun alien movie, but don't come out here and act like you're about to break disclosure for everybody when you're not going to do that. That's screwed up.
At what point do you think, because it did, unfortunately, because James Fox, I would say he was probably, the most respected documentary filmmaker when it comes to aliens and UFOs, this subject in general. And he has gone from being the most respected to absolutely, completely and utterly being attacked by people saying that he is nothing but a grifter. I
mean, you can't make claims like he made with Virginia. You can't do that, dude. Like, people are going to be pissed. Even believers are going to be mad about that. At the end of the day, they want to see the video just like the skeptics do. So when you light people up like that, I mean, don't expect. I mean, listen, you want to make a lot of money like that, it's going to cost. Okay, so if you want to make up a story that you have a video like that, you want to promote the movie because you want to make a bunch of money, dude, don't come at me surprised when everyone tries to take your head off over not doing what you said you were going to do. This is the way that it happens. It's happened to Greer too. Greer's in that kind of line of fire too. A lot of these documentary guys are, man. They're all in a really rough spot right now.
New.
Yeah, new for somebody who really wants to.
I mean, a completely fresh face.
Yeah, but what they got to work with?
Yeah,
they have nothing to work with.
Camera.
There's no material, man. I mean, they're just going to go back to old cases again.
I think there is material. When you do things like what I've just been speaking about with Timothy Alberino and Rekka. I think there's material if you go out and you actually do some work.
Yeah, but does it prove there's going to be aliens, though?
No. I mean, spoilers alert, Rekka's coming on next week, and they saw nothing. They saw nothing. They could have done a video and gone, yeah, at night we could hear them, we saw them, and that would be views would have hit sky high because they've been out there, they've investigated it, and they've seen shit. They could have even done some fake tracks in the fucking jungle or what have you. They could have done some fake symbols, anything. And there's none of that. There's just interviewing the locals speaking about it. I believe them locals that they've seen something. That's where if someone's going to make a documentary, do something like that. Go outside, go into the danger zones.
Yeah. I mean, hats off to Timothy for doing the investigation work. Is really, really cool. But I just hope it's not going to be like another nothing burger. You know what I mean?
Well, they don't know. They generally don't know. They just know something's gone off there. The locals are scared shitless.
Yeah, that's my whole thing, man. I mean, as long as if they don't get anything on video and they're not promoting this as like, hey, trust us, this is what we've seen. Like, I'm okay with them going out and reporting on it, what they found.
They never said that. They never said that.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying that as long as they come at this where they're like, hey, this is what happened. We didn't get anything. We don't know. I mean, I don't have any issue with them going and looking into it. It's just coming back and saying, hey, dude, we got the head of this freaking alien. I mean, that's the kind of stuff like that really sets people off, I don't know.
Speaking about heads of aliens, so
what a segue master. That was good. That was not
you
planned.
did it, not me.
I mean, I didn't think you were going to segue right there though, but it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hang me. Have you watched the recent Mexican UFO hearing?
I know they had one. God, if I only spoke Spanish, I could probably sat there and watch the whole thing live.
I should sit and watch it with my missus. She could just.
The only thing that I seen come out of it was there's like an X-ray that shows like the hips like aren't even really attached or something like that. Like I seen something about that. But no, I haven't.
Yeah, have you ever heard of hip displacement?
Sure. I'm not a doctor, man. I don't know what that looks like, but that's what people were saying. I mean, I haven't had any time to really look into that. I mean, God, there's only so much time in the day, Ali, and that I'm going to devote things to
Have you seen the
scans?
Have you seen the scans?
Yeah, they made it look like they made it to look like it's flesh-like, like it's actual like a real being. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not falling for this. I'm just sick and fucking tired of this fucking bullshit. Look, Heine has been caught over 50 fucking times faking shit. I'm sick of
pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Look at it. It's so fake. None of the bones joined up properly. Is displacement. Have you seen them picking the bloody thing up? The head is not even.
But they are doubling down now. They are doubling down. Like they've got more experts there looking at this.
Experts. Where's
Well,
the
we
independent
have to
research?
be
Where's
careful.
these
We
rogue
have to be
researchers?
careful because we have to be
For fuck's
careful.
sake.
We have to be careful
Yeah,
because
but Ali,
people
why don't they send the bodies around? Just take one of
Exactly.
them.
I agree.
yeah,
I
Just
agree
send them
with you there.
around. I
Yeah.
don't need to hear more like
So
more
what you're
testimony
saying
from the
is you
same place.
don't trust Mexico.
No, I'm saying
I
that,
don't trust Heine.
listen, I can't remember the name of the president. Reagan said, Ronald Reagan, trust but verify. Okay, I trust that
I
they
agree.
have
It needs more.
great.
It needs more
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, they have great. I'm sure there's great doctors there, without a doubt. I'm sure they're great people. Not everybody's out to get us, guys. Not everybody is bad that's around it. I'm sure, but at the same time, verify it. Why not also send it out to other universities? I mean, if they're look at how much time they're putting into it. If they could just send it out to a couple other places and just prove it and be done with it, why aren't we doing that already?
You know, this is not his thing, though. It's not his in this. This is not his discovery. There's a museum in Peru that has loads of these things apparently in there.
Oh, but they're in the
So-
back.
No,
Factory of them?
there's a museum with all the loads of these things
Oh, okay.
in Peru. So I don't think you need to go to Jaime. Again, we're speaking about boots on the ground.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Just send some scientists to this fucking museum
Mhm.
and look at forget his. Look at where he got them from.
Why doesn't Brandon Fugel do it? He's got enough money.
Exactly.
Mm.
Let's do that.
Because it looks
Why
probably-
doesn't Brandon Fugel fund alien addicts and bring us all around to Skinwalker Ranch
Hey, dude.
to do a ghost hunt? You know,
I'd go. Yeah, I'd go for sure.
I think if he did fund it and they found out it was a load of bollocks, he's probably going to make himself look like a right idiot for putting all this
Oh no,
money.
no, because if he paid for us, we'd put him in and we'd do a good. You know, I'd definitely do a grift if he was going to pay me to go to America. Yeah.
Oh my god.
If he's going to get me some Fugel red wine, you know, and put me up for the night, yeah, I'll make his I'll make Skinwalker fucking dance.
Yeah, we'll stand in one of those sheds that Green Street was in, and I'll say, "Did you hear that? It said Ollie and Alien Addict is a great show. I heard it. I heard him say that." Yeah. No, I mean, I agree, dude. I mean, it's a really good point you make, Ali. And I think Nick, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were kind of alluding earlier when he said, you know, why isn't there more boots on the ground? We just don't have a lot of events like we used to, you know, in the 50s, 60s, 70s. It's not as often. So it's kind of hard. I mean, Peru, at least someone went and did that. You know, no matter what you think about it, it's very cool that they went and did that for sure. I mean, but yeah. I mean, why doesn't somebody like Brandon Fugel take some money and send some scientists over there to check it out? Why not?
Have you guys heard of the MJ12 documents?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. What's your opinion on ice cream? Do you think they're real fake?
Oh man, dude.
Have you?
Can you just? I've heard of this, but you're gonna have to remind me.
Yeah, they were supposed to be the documents
I don't
that
know.
were they were left. I can't remember where they were. They were found on the floor, like on the ground, like a train station or something. God, I'm blanking on it. Off the top of my head. I think Stanton Friedman thought they were real, right? Did I cut out?
Yeah, I'm going to show you because
Oh, you're pulling them up.
Well, the FBI says that this is fake.
They think
I'm just gonna
they're
show you
junk.
two
Yeah,
extracts
they're
of
on there
this.
on their website. Yep.
Is this with the? Is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
With the passport.
I'm going to be. No.
No,
So
I'm
basically,
thinking of the wrong
this
thing.
is-
I'm thinking of the guy with the weird passport that had a country that didn't exist. Go on, Kat.
Oh right.
Dude, it's
So
been a
this
long time since
document
I've looked
here-
at the MJ12 documents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to
Have
be
you-
honest
have
with
you got-
you. Can you see it here?
Well, I can't see that, mate. But I still can't see
Is it
that.
up on the screen? Can you see that?
I can see it, but I got really good eyes. Fortunately for me.
You're gonna have to read that to me.
Oh no, right. It's no point reading it 'cause it's all fake. So yeah, this is a document stating that
spoil
there
it.
were actual alien. No, it's well. I'm going to go into it, allude into it a bit more, but basically, this document here, there's a couple more documents stating that whatever crashed at Roswell was aliens, and there was a spacecraft, and they've got all bunch of names right over here that were involved in this. Now, first of all, I know declassified documents, you will have names blurred out. You will have writing, at least some sort of a good part of this would be blanked out if it was original document. Now, this is fake. This was put out there to prove that Roswell was aliens and all that. But there's another document that I forgot to bring up. That is an actual real document from 1947, a couple of months after Roswell, that states that whatever crashed in Roswell looted to, it might have been something Nazi, because they were going, right, we need to get these Nazi scientists to find out what this actual aircraft is. And by the way, where are the Horton brothers? That's the real document. And in here, it states, oh, yeah, we've got alien bodies and we've retrieved a crashed alien flying saucer. Oh, by the way, where are the Horton brothers? And I'm thinking, why the hell would the Horton brothers have to do with anything to do with an extraterrestrial crash? Do you know what I mean? Do you know who the Horton brothers are? They're the guy that made the German. These are the flying wing, basically. Nothing makes sense in this document, and it's been proved to be faked. But the ufology, which Joseph P. Farrell likes to say ufology, because they are kind of fools, really. The ufology community love to put this document out. So if this document was real, why don't they release this document then? Where's the actual original photograph? This is just a photocopy. This ain't, it's just a photocopy of a photocopy.
Right.
Why didn't they go in and find this document and then bring it into Congress and saying, look, guys, here's another document from the bloody Pentagon or Department of Defense that proves that aliens have crashed here and we have retrieved and reversed engineered, etc., etc. But they don't. They don't, because there's no fucking good evidence or documents like this. It's just a bunch of fake shit. So
yeah, but I think, Nick, a lot of people, though, that maybe the documents are fake. I wouldn't argue that at all. They probably are. But I mean, I think a lot of people think that it's still possible that there is a group that's like that. You know what I mean? If this really is all stovepiped and it's through these private corporations and things like that, and it all leads up to somewhere, there could be a group like that, man. It's so hard to know, dude. It's so hard to put any kind of real fact or fiction on a lot of this stuff at this point. So much conjecture. It's so old too. There's another guide that's out there too. The crash retrieval guide that I think was supposed to be found at Area 51 or like in some barracks out there, and that was supposed to tell everybody how to deal with crash retrievals. And they found that the typewriter that was used to make it back then matched, and a lot of people think that's real too. Where it showed a bunch of different the races that were involved. It's pretty cool stuff.
What, so a guide how to deal with
crash retrievals,
flying saucer?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So similar vein to that.
Whatever you do, don't touch them.
Well, they talk about that too. Yeah. Viruses, stuff like that.
If we just hypothesize,
that's the reality of it. If you got an alien that crashed here, you're not going to touch them motherfuckers.
No.
Have you seen War of the Worlds? It didn't end well.
Yeah, but those were like bloody jellyfish things, weren't they? If I remember rightly, they weren't exactly, tall grey aliens.
No, they weren't. It depends which one you watched. If you watched the one with Tom Cruise, they were grey aliens just with 4 arms and legs like a dog's. But yeah, they died from the cold.
Really?
Yeah.
That really is that the plot of the movie? Is it?
That's the plot of War of the Worlds. They die from the common cold.
I thought it was diseases.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, from the cold, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, the cold. Oh, right. Okay, gotcha.
Well, it could have been chlamydia. I don't know, but
bunch of herpes there. Great.
I like the way Signs did it. Where he knocked through the water on him. That was awesome. That was really great. I mean, the movie's great. Signs is probably my favorite alien movie ever.
It's a fantastic film.
But
that scene with the alien on the TV set is
it's really good.
Scary.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
And they faked it, and it looks pretty good. Even nowadays, still looks pretty good
today.
Yeah, and what year was that movie out?
2001. Oh, no, 2003, I think. So I was in high school at that time. So, yeah.
I love
early
Joaquin
2000s.
as well.
There's a lot of great CGI that was done even the early 2000s, guys. There's a lot of really talented people out there, and don't think that the only guy that could have done stuff like that worked there. So it's hard, man. There's a lot of really good CGI out there. A lot of good artists.
There's the bit when he puts the knife underneath the door and the alien hand comes out. That fucking
Yeah.
scared the shit out of me when I saw that.
Yeah, that was
Oh, he chopped the
Shyamalan's
finger
movie,
off.
man. Boy. Huh?
Cut the finger off, didn't he? Cut the
Oh
finger
yeah.
off the alien.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it screamed, bro. So scary.
The most, like, the hardest bit for that film, the bit that creeped me out, the bit that made me feel like, oh God, the most in that film was when his wife was pinned against that tree, and the police officer says, your wife's not got long, you can go speak to her, but basically the car is the only thing that's holding her together. If the car moves, her legs are just gonna basically she's being decapitated.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of the Scary Movie 3 or 4. I don't know if you've seen that at all. With Charlie Sheen, it's like takes a piss out of Signs. I think it might have been like the 3rd or 4th one. I'd find it hilarious. I know it's quirky and all that, but that bit in Signs just reminds me of that comedy moment in Scary Movie. Just can't take it seriously anymore.
Why is there a bit where somebody's been decapitated and he's talking to his dead wife that's been decapitated inside?
Yeah, and he's saying, and the wife is saying to Charlie Sheen, saying like, "No more sex. You can't have sex anymore." And she, it's a comedy moment. It's fun, lighthearted.
I think
Scary Movie 4, guys. There you go. It's got aliens in it.
So we started with Grush and Kirkpatrick. So do you think the whole Grush train is going to come to an end now? Do you think it's going to gradually fizzle out, or do you think we're going to get a grand finale with Grush?
No, no. It is going to go. It's going to go a bit of a halt, and then they might in February. I think something's coming up in February, and then it's going to go back down again, and then a big hype. Then it's going to go back down again, and it's just going to be repeating, just like it is this year. A big bunch of fucking nothing, bunch of stories, add on to the myth, on to the ufology. That's it. Really, that's my own opinion. I can't see.
There has to be a reason for it. There has to be a reason. I refuse to believe that David Grusch did this on the back of a grift.
I think he believes what he's saying. I do. I think he believes everything that he's talking about, for sure. I think he's just another part of the battering ram, another attempt at them to kind of shake free disclosure and more to, whether that's to declassify technology over time more. Like that's kind of what Manny was talking about with us last Saturday. It's all about just declassifying more technology. He could be a good help for them to do that. Or maybe is to get disclosure. I mean, I don't see it that way, but you can leave it out there that way if you want. Yeah.
I listen to like the Lou reviews, the Stephen Cambions. I hear what they're saying, but there's one thing that they mention grift. It's a bunch of bullshit. Why we're listening to these people, but they don't go down the avenue of why. Why is it there in the first place? What? Who's behind Grush? Who and why? If this is all something that Grush has been made to believe, to tell us, what's the reason behind that? And is that the most important thing when it comes to this field? Is that the bigger question we need to ask ourselves?
I'm wondering whether or not Grush was almost appointed, put on a pedestal by Jeremy Corbell, those type of gangs.
I don't think he's got anything to do with Jeremy Corbell. I think he was supposed to bump in. I think it was he met them at a Star Trek conference, which I would have loved to have been at. I'm a massive Trekkie. I am a massive Trekkie.
But he's almost like put on a pedestal, isn't he? He hasn't really got anything to back up. This is it. More stories, that's fine, but unfortunately, testimony.
Yeah, but I believe Jeremy Corbell George Knapp, Grusch, the people in this field that we see the faces and we hear the conversations, brief conversations, I believe they're all being used to a certain degree. I think it's a lot higher up than you would believe. Maybe that's why Corbell's so fucking stressed out. Maybe he's actually had a taste of what it actually is. You know, I think you can only be so much in the know until you know.
Yeah, I mean, I still think a lot of it has to do with them looking for more money and then also to do more research. But I think a lot of what Grush can do is he can, like I said, maybe even if the story is what he believes what he's being told. I mean, if he goes into a skiff and was able to give them anything, let's say that's possible. I think you have people like Chris Mellon, Elizondo, that whole crew that I think he's really behind, that he's involved with. They are hoping
Yes,
that
I would tend to agree with you there.
Yeah, I think Mellon's. I agree with Manny. I think Mellon's the ringleader here at the very top of this whole thing, kind of calling the shots. He has the credentials to be able to do that.
He comes from a very powerful family.
Right, right. I mean that photo. Dude, there's a lot of people that are around here for powerful families, but he's definitely one of them. But even if Grush goes in there and says things, oh, go ahead. Yeah. Oh, you got it. You got to load it up.
Oh, deleted it. No, I haven't.
Yeah. So I mean, you definitely have a lot of these people. But even if Grush believes it's true and it's not, maybe they're hoping that they're right and that these programs exist and they can send in kind of a Trojan horse to pull somebody who's really real out. Maybe they can trick one of these guys to actually be a whistleblower. It's not a horrible idea. I mean, I don't know how successful it's going to be, but I mean, if you really wanted to like give a reason, I still think a lot of this is just motivated because these guys want disclosure in the sense of they want to know what's going on. Brandon Fugel, Chris Mellon, Robert Bigelow, these guys, they want to know, man. I really do think that.
See, I believe that there's definitely a huge lie with a lot of these people, but I also believe they don't know. So I believe they may know they're being lied to. However, so you look at Corbell. He's gained success from it. So he may feel like when he sat drinking his cup of coffee, something just not quite right with the information that I've been given, the track that I'm on. Something feels off about it.
How it's not working? How it's not really working? Yeah, I bet.
I believe he knows as much as he is telling us. Maybe has a few things behind the scene that's going on when it comes to, like, he'll get some footage before anybody else and he'll know about it maybe a few months before he even puts it out. I believe now that he possibly has maybe information of what is going on, because I think if you plug something for enough, I think what he's been doing is very important for the way it's supposed to go, for the way that we are supposed to be presented UFOs, that I can't say phenomena. I think he's the guy that did the job very well. I don't believe he knows what it's all about, but I think it's quite possible somebody maybe a few people may have told him things to what this is about. You've seen some of his guests on Weaponized that have been very questionable, especially when you hear them being asked what the phenomena is. I think in that situation, when you've presented yourself the way you've presented yourself when it comes to UFOs, like, this is fucking cool. There must be an element of there must be something must weigh heavy on your shoulders when you actually find out what this thing is. We were speaking before the show, Ice Cream and Nick. We were speaking about like going into places that are potentially dangerous, or you may think that there's something paranormal there, demon. I don't know what I get the feeling he's maybe had some information that he's not comfortable with anymore.
In what sense? Do you think he knows it's bullshit and he's been pushing the story now? Now he knows that it's bullshit?
I don't think there's any bullshit to this. I don't think there's. I never have. I never have. I've debunked stuff before on the channel. I've spoke about people faking stuff because it's fun. But I do believe there's genuinely something to this subject that goes so deep that, and I think it's scary. I think if people actually did find out the truth to what this is, it would change lives. It would change everything that we know of. I think there's a lot of fake UFOs out there. I think there's a lot of fake stuff, but I wouldn't do this today if I didn't feel in myself that there's more to this than meets the eye.
Oh, I agree with you with that. Yeah, I mean, I 100% think there's something behind it.
But how far up the ladder, Ice Cream, can you get until you? So you're thinking that like this is actually I'm really not articulating myself very well here.
No, you're okay. You're all right.
How far can you get with this to sell this subject? Because let's face it, that's what he's done. He sold the subject. And I'm not bad. This is not me bad mouthing Jeremy Corbell by any means. I would have done the exact same thing in his position.
Well, what things that Corbell has done and participated in, no matter what you think about him, I mean, they've definitely served it up. I mean, they've thrown the alley-oop, the ball is in the air. It's not like, waiting for somebody to come dunk the ball. The problem is no one's dunking the ball. They keep throwing the ball up to the basketball hoop for somebody to jump in the air, and Michael Jordan from the line and dunk it. But the problem is they're not. And this is my thing of why I just don't think that they're, like I always ask, how is it working out? Everything that keeps coming out turns into nothing burgers. So if this is really a process for them to start dripping disclosure, how's that really working out? It's not working out. And that's why I think this is them trying to shake something loose with it, that they're serving the ball up. You know what I mean? They're getting into Congress. They're given the opportunity for it to be there. But the problem is, Ali, is the Congress will turn away if they don't see anything. I can't remember the name of the congressman off the top of my head right now, but now they're making like SR-51 references and all of this stuff. They're going to turn away. And then what do you do at that point? Because let's be honest, guys, if there has been any stigma that's been removed, if there has been any like real serious look at the topic lately, it's because Congress is looking at it. And when they turn away from it, we don't have that support. We're all just guys sitting here talking about stories again, and it goes away. I think we're really possibly looking at Blue Book, unfortunately, all over again, where we're going to come down to nothing here next year, and they're going to close the story on it, and no one's going to care anymore. Because how many AARO reports do you guys want to look at of them releasing saying it's nothing? Here's another balloon video until you're bored. And that doesn't mean that the phenomena is not real, but it means that they sure as hell don't want to tell you. And this is why it's so important for us to understand what's going on with Kirkpatrick, whether or not he's lying. Because if Kirkpatrick is lying, then we can say that AARO is completely compromised, and now AARO has its hands with NASA. Now they're working with NASA. So now we have to go back and question, okay, what's really going on with NASA? That's why I told you before this show, Ali, that this show was really important, that I think this is the true topic that people need to be looking into right now to understand where the future of this thing is going. And the reality is that Corbell can't control the narrative, though, Ali. He can't. He can make some videos, but he's not. I just still don't think he has enough power to really.
I don't think he wants
out,
to control. I don't know if he wants to control the narrative anymore.
I mean, whether he does or not, I don't think he has the power for it.
It looks like you. It looks like he wants out.
He looks fed up during the episode.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. This thing is set up right now to crash. In my opinion, it's set up to crash.
Yeah.
Sucks to say it, bro. I hate to say it. Trust me, if anybody hates to say it, it's me. Because I think that there is something to it. But there is, like, you have to prove to me. If you don't want me to think that there's a phenomena behind this anymore, you have to prove to me that we had the only physicist, and we still have the only physicist that cracked anti-gravity, man. That we've had it all this time. That since 2008, we've had Tic Tacs, but no one else has been able to figure out how this shit works but us. Dude, there would be other physicists that would figure this stuff out if it was that easy. If we have Tic Tacs, if we have technology this way, it's 100% reverse engineered. There isn't any other... There's no explanation. It's like when that representative, that congressman was talking about SR-51. It's like, dude, explain to me, what is the relationship between the SR-51, the Blackbird? What are the characteristics that match the Tic Tac? Nothing. There's nothing even close. They're not the same plane at all. Okay. So why do you think in another 50 years they went from that? Like, that's supposed to be some grand technology. Like, I know, there's people that talk about nuclear drones. I've never seen a nuclear drone before. I don't know. Is it possible? Sure. But are those nuclear drones going from space to the water? I mean, I think that Fravor is telling the truth. I think that these things do move that way. I think that there are tech that we've back engineered. Dude, you have to prove to me that every other physicist in the world is that bad. That we just have the only ones. There's no way. They would have figured it out, man. Others would have figured it out. And we would have seen it put into society more at this point. Because if they cracked it in the 50s and the 60s, because they would have had to have worked on it for 25, 30 years. Let's say they were that good at it. We would see some of that technology off into the public at this point. And look at the cars, Ali. Our cars haven't progressed. Trains haven't progressed. Helicopters haven't progressed. No transportation has progressed. But we figured out anti-gravity ourselves all these years and just never used it. Come on, man. We would have used it. Everything that we make that's great, we use it. Sorry to rant, but geez,
No, on ice cream, you've got a good point. But I think I personally believe anti-gravity is man-made. I don't think it came from extraterrestrials at all. That's just my opinion. But I think people need to take in consideration, okay, we have this technology of anti-gravity, okay, free energy, put this way. You'll have to change the whole industry. You're not talking about billions, you are talking about trillions. How are the energy companies, the companies going to harness this anti-gravity? How are they going to pay for it? How are they going to charge people? Because it boils down to money. I see your point, absolutely. But I think if you look at like Nikola Tesla, who achieved great things and he was stripped of everything. If you look through people who's cracked anti-gravity, like for instance, Stanley Meyer, who built the car that ran on water, look what happened to him. He came running out of bloody restaurants saying that he's dead. But you will find these people who have cracked anti-gravity, free energies, it's alternative methods of propulsion systems and energy, and they end up dead. So there are people out there, 100%. But I think when it comes to public technology being available to the public, I just don't think it's going to happen. I believe they've cracked. I think they cracked gravity way back in the 50s because they did all this research and has been public knowledge. They've done a lot of research and then suddenly it stopped. There's a great book here called The Hunt for Zero Point by Nick Cook. He's an aviation. Yeah, he looked into that sort of side, and it is fascinating what they were saying in the 50s. They came out publicly and said the jet age is already obsolete. They admitted to that. They actually came out publicly and said, the jet age is already obsolete, and that was in the bloody 50s. Where's this technology?
I agree. But like when you look at the argument though, that when you look at a lot of those arguments, though, Nick, a lot of people say, well, look at the SR-50, SR-71. You know, this was amazing technology that they started working on in the 50s, and we didn't know about it until what, the 70s, 80s or something. So it's like, but that was the best they had in the 50s. And if they cracked gravity, why is that the best thing that we got? You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't we learn about the Tic Tac that they cracked in the 50s? Why didn't we learn about that in the 80s? You know, there's this gap that we just don't have. This whole, and it's like, at the same time, it's like, you know, I think I tweeted this today where I was like, if you look at our next experimental aircraft that we lost, we asked the public for help. It's like our governments or our military is so bad that they need to ask the public for help. They can't find their jet, but they figured out gravity in the 50s. Dude, that just doesn't compute. Like, those two things, you can't be that dumb and that smart at the exact same time. You kind of have to pick a lane. They're either extremely smart and they'd be able to track the aircraft experimental, or they don't.
Any of you boys got
an
Apple product? Have you any of you boys got an Apple product?
Oh yeah, I got an iPhone.
No, I'm Android, unfortunately.
So well, even if you're Android, have you ever dabbled with Apple TV?
No.
Okay.
No.
Download, get 3 months free on it, and watch for All Mankind.
Is this an ad or what?
This is not. This is. I wish it was a sponsor. It's not.
It was a sponsor. Yeah, I was going to say.
It is fantastic. So there's also a TV program called Invasion on there. First season's absolutely amazing, about aliens invading. It's dark as shit. But for All Mankind is unreal, and it's the alternative of what would have happened if we'd have keep going back to the moon. It's
cool.
Amazing, absolutely. It's even got a timeline. So I think we're on season 3 now or 4, and it starts off like in the 40s, like going up to the first one. From 1969, and then literally we're on Mars now. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it is absolutely amazing. And like when you're talking about that, it just reminds me of that program. And I do sometimes wonder if we are being lied to when it comes to them just stopping going back to the moon. You know, it just seems like they always say, oh, it's so expensive, this, that, and the other. But how do we know? How do we really know what they're doing?
It's like the pyramids. Do you think aliens built the pyramids or man built the pyramids?
I got no idea.
You should know this.
I don't
Nick.
know.
You should know this.
I'm going to refer to you on this, Nick. I'll ask you. What do you think?
Aliens. No. Fucking hell. I quite like the idea of what Graham's saying, that
I'm going to say, I'm sure you've had stoned conversations in Graham's garden.
No, in his actual little hidey ho he has. But yeah, that's another story for another time. But he mentions that
joints with Hancock.
Yeah, I've had the privilege of that. That's amazing. But he mentioned to me that he believes that civilization had the power to actually lift things by hand, like telekinesis. Is that the right word for it? Is that the right?
I think so.
I think so. I think you're right.
Like carry sort of shit. You know, you can move things, and that's what he believes they could be able to do. Now look at Coral Castle. I can't remember the guy who built it, but he built the whole thing.
Yep.
He said he harnessed the energy of the Egyptians to build this fucking crazy thing. It's called Coral Castle. Let's bring it up because this is
you have a picture of that?
Crazy stuff. I'm gonna bring it up now.
Yeah, he said he would never tell anybody how he did it, right? Or he would never let anybody watch him use it.
Can't remember.
That's what he said.
Yeah. They said, "Well, then build something for us." He said, "No, I'm not gonna show you how to do it." He's keeping that one to the vest, you know?
Is fucking crazy. There's a stone door that weighs 10 tons and you can actually push it open. and he managed to
Have
do
you
that
got?
by
Have you got
himself.
it, Nick? Are you gonna bring it on screen?
Yeah. 2 seconds. No.
He's got the visual aids tonight for us, dude. Big time.
I do.
Thank you, Nick, for the
I've
visual
managed to
aids.
get-
Appreciate it, bro.
That's okay, man. That's okay. 2 seconds.
Can I
2
just
seconds.
say, guys, everybody in the chat, you need to go out and check Cosmic Twilight's channel out because he's got a video in the making that's going to blow your legs off. And also, you need to
Yes.
go watch his interview on Terrestrial Material because it goes real deep on the Nazi UFOs. It's not. I don't really think there wasn't even a mention of an alien on there, but it was like
It's incredible. Yeah. It's
It-
really,
it-
really great video, dude. Yeah. If you're at all interested in the Nazi UFO topic at all, yeah,
Just-
you need to go watch it. It's
And
very
if
cool.
if you do happen to go over to Terrestrial Material and you see that there's an interview with Alien, just don't bother watching it because it's not that.
Go watch it.
He made honestly, don't watch it. He was a real bad interviewer on that one.
We'll do it. We'll do a redo if you want to
We'll
redo.
do a redo.
You know?
Definitely do a
another
redo,
one.
mate. Yeah,
We'll do another one.
we'll do a redo when I'm drinking nothing but coffee
you
and tea.
Yeah, I need you to come in with the coffee and tell us the truth about the aliens, Ali. I know you know.
I think I do. I think I'm on. I think I'm onto it.
This is cool, huh?
Guys, can you see this? Yeah. Well, I'm seeing
Do you know,
right here.
this reminds me of Labyrinth.
Oh, that's a scary
Kind of,
movie,
isn't it?
man.
Yeah. But so basically he
When
managed
she's in
to
the
carve this
garden
himself.
with Ludo. Ludo.
That's a better picture. Yeah, so see all these stones, he managed to carve this himself and lift these stones up by himself, which weigh tons. And some say he used a tripod, and yeah, it's fucking crazy. And he did it all in dark when no one was about.
So he did it in the dark when there was no one
Yeah,
there.
He's made like steps and all that.
Why in the dark when nobody was there?
God knows. But yeah, there we
And
go. That is Coral Castle.
How long ago?
This was don't know what, 50s probably. I don't know.
I mean, when I'm alone in the dark, I don't build this stuff. You know what I mean?
Let's have a little look.
That's
1958.
Yeah.
I mean, why in the dark?
Why build it though? That's the main thing.
I
But
mean,
if you're gonna build it, at least build it with a little bit of sunlight, you know.
it's for the girls, you know.
I mean, that's.
I don't know.
I have
man.
not
I don't
seen.
know.
I have not.
I've
seen
heard
that
this
before,
story.
mate.
I've never seen this before. I've heard the story, but I've never seen the pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Google
supposedly
it,
he's got the secret, you know.
You didn't know Alistair
Yeah,
Crowley, did he, by any chance?
Man.
Man, I don't know about Alistair Crowley, man. He's that's a whole new ball game, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So, true story. We did a show about Alistair Crowley, and
I know.
both me, Lee, and Dave looked into Alistair Crowley, I think, for 2 solid weeks. And after the show, all 3 of us had I had the worst nightmares I'd ever had. I messaged Lee and said, Lee, I just had the fucking wildest nightmare. And Lee's like, oh, me too. And I'm like, what was it about? Don't know. And I'm like, I don't know. I just know I had a really scary nightmare. You ever got that way? You've got like you've had like either a fucking amazing dream and you'll remember it like the moment after, but then when you go to tell somebody the dream, you're like, I know it was good,
Yeah.
but it's gone.
I don't dream.
Oh, you're not getting any REM sleep, man. You're supposed to be.
No, it's the is what I smoke. It just suppresses your
Okay.
actual. Because I tell you what, yeah, when I stopped smoking last year for 6 months, fuck me, the dreams were horrendous. It came back like a fucking, oh my God.
Man.
I didn't, because I haven't dreamt in like 18 years. Like
Wow.
no dreams at all. I might have like a little sex dream, little naughty dream. Sorry, Mel, if you're listening, but yeah, mostly I don't have any dreams. And if I do have one, it's very vague and I can't remember shit after when I wake up. It's very strange, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm gonna show you guys a bit of this, especially for everybody in the chat, because I want you to go and watch this show, this whole show on Timothy Alberino's channel, because we're gonna have Doug on next week, who's with Timothy. Timothy can't make it because he's doing another. He's going out and about again. He's like Indiana fucking Jones. But this is them in Peru.
Oh wow.
House the next day, the Apu of the village, AARRO, suggested that we go to her house the following morning after breakfast. We did so, and her father persuaded her to talk with us. Now, if you recall, Doug, before I started to interview her, and before I started to interview her, she was extremely nervous, just like the previous day. But then after I asked her the first question, and it was simply, Talia, please tell us what happened to you.
Toma tu tiempo, yo sé que es difícil. It's extremely traumatized, this girl.
Do you see what I mean about boots on the ground, though? I mean, you can't get any more boots on the ground than going out and actually interviewing the whole village. This is brilliant.
I agree. What the TikTok shirt is weird to me.
No, because I like think about it.
No, I understand. Like a lot of these villagers, they just get clothes. They get clothes. Like I get it. But still, like where do we see people wear shirts like that in the U.S. Even that's weird. Does she have a TikTok?
So,
I mean, that's interesting.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So when I went to Brazil with my wife years ago, I can remember like there were loads of people like with Mickey Mouse t-shirts and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Who wears Mickey Mouse t-shirts?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like I get what you mean. It's like sponsored by TikTok.
I mean, not really sponsored, but it's like, yeah, I know that like these groups of people, they get kind of secondhand, third-hand shirts, and they get old stuff. And like, I understand that old logos that's usually see old stuff. TikTok's kind of relevant, man. It's just very, very weird. Like, wow, how did that shirt? I don't know. I don't know the background. It's just doesn't mean anything. It's just something I noticed. I guess it's just kind of odd.
I felt that about the TikTok shirt, but like they do get like a lot of other clothes. Also,
yeah.
There's a lot of it sounds bad, but it is true. There is a lot of fake clothes being made, and some of these brands like TikTok's kind of cool for teenagers, and she's a teenager.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing, but it's just still a little. I expected to see like Coca-Cola on the shirt, not something so relevant like that. Yeah. But
she looks so nervous with this camera, though.
She does,
and like it's just for me. Look, you've got to. I'm not going to play much of it because I don't. I believe you've got to go watch this. It's a brilliant watch.
She just stood there and trembled, head to foot, trembled for probably a good 2 minutes. Just stood there silent, trembling. She could not speak. Obviously, something very traumatic had happened to her right there in the backyard where we were standing, and the assailants were. My height, I'm 6'1", reminded her of the assailants because they were very tall. So what happened to Talia? What happened to this young lady is that one night, one evening, she was picking fruit from her tree. And this was right after dusk, so it just got dark. She's picking fruit from the tree. She's knocking the fruit down with this long stick, and the fruit falls to the ground. Talia proceeds to bend over and pick up the fruit that fell.
She looks nervous. You see, she looks extremely nervous. Are you guys picking that up?
Yeah, I think for me, she looks a little embarrassed almost too to tell the story a little bit. Like there's a little bit of like uneasiness like that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Or
yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's the father behind her, but you've also got like what looks like the father figure with her. It's like the leading up to this, and you're gonna have to. In fact, what I'll do, I'll copy it. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Don't watch it right now. Wait till we're gonna end the show soon anyway. Yeah, don't watch it straight away.
Stay here.
After the show, go watch this, guys. Absolutely, it's an amazing watch.
Did you finish the clip, Ollie?
And we're having record on. Yeah, just about, mate. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
It's just finished. I just want to know what happened to this girl.
Oh, so
to the ground, and there are under the tree there are some dead leaves, and suddenly she feels this gust of wind behind her, and the leaves she notices rustle as she goes to pick up the fruit. She feels this gust of wind, and the leaves are rustling a little bit on the ground, and so she looks behind her, and what does she see? She sees a person coming up the hill, because the backyard is kind of a little gully. It's forested. There's some jungle there between the other houses. So it's this little gully. We have it on film. And she sees this guy, this person, this thing coming up the hill, almost as if he's surfing on one of these circular platforms. And he comes up the hill and he lands next to her, and then immediately grabs her. He seizes her from behind, and he places his hand over her mouth. So he's got her from behind, and he's got his hand over her mouth so she can't scream. Then she sees another one of these guys coming on another platform up the hill and lands and positions himself in front of her and grabs her leg. So now she is being held by two of these pelacaras, face peelers, one behind her with the hand over the mouth, and the other has her legs. The description she gave me of these individuals is identical to what everybody else was saying to us. They were dressed head to foot in black body armor. She even described the body armor.
So this is the bit that I was talking about with the lingo. It's insane.
In greater detail than anyone else. She described how it was on the forearms and on the shins, and the chest was some sort of like a breastplate, metallic, and they were wearing these helmets, these large helmets, elongated helmets. I covered the entirety of their faces. So the very same description that everybody else gave to us, this is what Talia encountered. They were very tall. One of them, which she calls the gringo, was taller than me, considerably taller than me. The other, I think she said, was about my height, if I recall. That one I dubbed the Peruvian. The reason why is because, according to Talia, these individuals spoke Spanish. The taller one, she says, spoke Spanish like me, like a gringo with an accent, and the smaller one spoke like a Peruvian. And I specifically asked Talia,
I don't want to play any more of it because
no, that's fine.
I don't think Timothy will strike, because I just literally I think everybody should go watch this for themselves rather than spoil anything. It's a great watch. Is this
the girl that had the throat slit?
Yes, that was the girl that was interviewing. You do see the marks on her neck as well.
You do. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, you see the marks.
Okay, cool. I'll check this out, Ollie. Cheers, mate. I thought they mentioned it in here.
So Rekka, in the checkered shirt, Rekka's on next week on the Sunday. Rekka was with Timothy, and he was the guy who. So he does like he trains people, I think, for a living for firearms and stuff like that. He taught the villagers how to shoot, mainly how to look after their weapons. This is the craft that this guy's drawing as well.
It's like a fish.
Yeah, like it does look like a fish, but yeah, they gave these villagers all. You see, like the light over his head and stuff like that. They give all these villagers like loads of equipment and source them with loads of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah,
but they also looked after him this was like one of the main things that which I thought was pretty cool was whether you believe this case or not.
And patrol in a column so that they don't accidentally shoot each other. It was quite exhilarating watching these guys learn how to organize themselves into a more efficient fighting force, and then to go out and deploy the new tactics and technology on their patrols.
So Rekka, like, when he was invited out there with Timothy, his main thing was to teach these people how to tactics on how to deal with this. So, like, this I think this story is absolutely wild.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, yeah.
I think when Lee first introduced me to this story as well, I actually went against it and said, this sounds like just something that's been made up. But the more you look into this and you look into these people, you know, genuinely they are scared of what's going on in that village. Well, they call it a city because it's quite a big place within this. Yeah, it's.
Did they give the villagers GoPros or CCTV cameras or anything like that?
No. So Timothy and Doug, they went in with GoPros because they wanted to go low key. So they didn't want to go like hunk around cameras with them. Also, there was that aspect that they were saying in there. I think they said in that interview there was a point when they were saying, "Well, hang about. What if it is like cartel? What if it is, what if it actually is cartel that are scaring these people? We need to be like as low-key as possible, and also we need to be on our guard because there's a possibility." Because all they were doing, they were hearing the stories coming out of that. Timothy, I believe he's lived out there for quite some time, and that's how he got so involved with this story because he speaks the language. He's lived there. So yeah, that's how he got in, and they got along really well with the whole village. But yeah, it's a good watch, and it's interesting. You're not going to get like answers of aliens or whatever it is, but you are going to see some information about UFOs, some that all the villagers speak of the same page when it comes to these UFOs, looking like acorns and transparent underneath. It is a real interesting watch. What I find so fascinating about it is the way what I'm getting from it is, and I don't know if I don't know in that kind of like interview video whether they specified what they thought, but it seemed like what I got from it is that they was possibly human in bodysuits scaring the villagers. So even though it's not miners, I kind of get the impression that they are, just because of the Spanish language and the fact that one of them, she said, gringo, you know, Westerner, white guy, whatever, is like, she said that one of them sounded like that. One of them sounded like one of us, one of the locals, Peruvian. I find that fascinating.
Yeah.
That she could have said anything. She could have said they said nothing. They made little croaky voice. It made little clicky sounds. What it could have been gone to any. It could have gone anywhere, but no, they were speaking English to each other.
Spanish,
sorry. Yeah, they were speaking Spanish to each other.
Yep.
I said English because she understood it because she's Spanish.
No, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting, man. It is. The bodysuits are interesting.
It reminds me of Bluebeam. It does remind me of a Bluebeam. Like I said this years ago on this channel. You'll be able to go back and find it somewhere. I think it's a video on Bluebeam. I said, if it's gonna happen, it will happen somewhere remote where nobody will ever. There'll be no cameras or anything like that. So there'll be nothing to prove. There'll be no sort of proof of anything. You'll get a village or you'll get a community speaking about something. I may have heard that somewhere else. I don't know, possibly.
In all fairness, I wonder if there's like a mythological creature that they had been there, sort of like a mythological monster or something like that.
I mean, Nick, the story's wild. I mean, it is literally that they're sticking to the story that we've heard with the red things on the boots. That slot it. Apparently, they slot into place with some sort of board. I mean, that
it's too weird for me, man.
It's crazy. It's
The
crazy.
hoverboards, dude. Back to the Future.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But they are all saying this. The whole village is saying this.
I hear you, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm gonna watch the report tomorrow when I get up, have coffee for sure. 100%. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why not? You know, I don't know if we're gonna come up with an answer. I'd have to, watch it. Like you're saying, they don't really give you like an answer that's aliens, but
I mean, can you imagine if all of a sudden we get David Grusch saying, "Oh, they've got these little kind of like red discs on the feet."
Oh man, dude, listen to you. Listen to you. Yeah,
it's rubbing off on you, mate.
For sure. No, I don't know. I hope we get to the bottom of the emails. I do. I want to know who's lying, Kirkpatrick or Grusch. I really do.
I don't think you're gonna get that.
But when are we gonna get? I feel like that's not even asking for much, though. Like just show us some emails. That's it. Show us the receipts, like the kids say nowadays. Show the receipts.
Yeah.
Come on.
See, what I find funny, guys, is that the UFO community is going, "Oh yeah, we got transparency now. We're actually talking about it." I'm going, "No, we're not. We got bloody skiffs. No one, no information's coming out about anything. You just go around in circles."
By the sounds of what Burchett said, by the sounds of what Burchett said, skiffs are overrated.
From the sounds of it.
Yeah, because he didn't seem entirely impressed by what he came across. If he went into a skiff at all.
Well, hang about. I mean, just quickly before we kind of wrap up.
Yeah.
That whole. Who was he in the skiff with?
Anna Paula Luna. The other guy, I can't remember. It's the same guy. Eric something.
He went in a skiff to discuss stuff that's already been discussed and stuff that you already knew. That apparently costs. Did they say $20,000?
Is it really $20,000? Oh.
I mean, $20,000 for a fucking room.
I mean, would you think they were going to tell them everything?
Maybe it's the $20,000 because they have to pay somebody to do a fucking full search of the room and.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but if it's as important as they say it is, I wouldn't even trust.
I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't even trust a skiff. Give me a fucking cave. Let's go to a cave.
Go to an island. I mean, better yet, go to an island.
Let's go out to the desert.
Yeah. A
Maybe
lot of
not.
bodies go missing in the desert,
Yeah,
you know?
they do. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. I ain't going to the desert.
It's a little risky. I don't know if I'd go out with some
Come on.
intelligence guys in the desert, bro. I didn't know. I don't know if I'd do that.
Hey, listen,
But-
bird shit. Yeah, you want? We got something better than a skiff. Yeah, come and meet us in the. Come and meet us out.
Didn't you guys find it interesting that Burchett called himself a true believer? Didn't you think that was interesting?
He's always said that. He's always said that he's been a believer.
Yeah, but I never heard him say,
he always says to he was on Weaponized the other day, but he has always said that he likes stuff about Art Bell, listening to that. He said listen to Coast to Coast. He's talked about George Knapp back in the day. He said he's always been into it.
Yeah, for sure. But he said true believer. I mean, I listen to all that stuff too, but I wouldn't say I'm a true believer. That's more of a, I got the sense that he kind of believes anything that comes his way. That's what that kind of label says to me, that you're full woo at that point. If you're saying you're a true believer, you're full woo as well. So I just thought it was kind of interesting that he said true believer. That was, I was like, oh, okay. All right.
I mean, how much good do you think it does for his campaign, this?
Oh, very much.
Yeah,
he's got a
probably
career now.
not. Yeah.
He's got a better career ahead of him. You know, this field is not right for him at all, and he's proven that. So, adios.
Yeah, I hear him say he's not going anywhere.
You're not keen on Beard Chet?
No, I don't trust any of them.
I like the guy.
I like him, but I don't trust him.
I'd like to go for a beer with Berchette.
I think he wants the truth. I mean, he's not. I don't see the grift out of him at all or anything like that. I don't see anything malicious from him. Not yet. Like Kirkpatrick and Burchett are completely different people in my eyes. Not the same thing.
If you had to put trust, so if you've got Grush in one corner, Patrick in another, and you've got Tim sat in another corner.
Okay.
Who's the nice guy?
Who's the guy I trust the most?
Who's the guy that you go and spend the weekend at his
Burchett,
house?
for sure. For sure, Burchett. Yeah. Yeah. He'd be the one that I'd trust the most. Now, whether or not he's really reliable with what he's saying, I mean, that's a whole nother topic, but yeah, but if you, like you mentioned earlier, go ahead.
This is the thing with Corbell.
Yeah.
Like whether you think he's legit or not, I think some of the stuff that he says is it's the information that he's genuinely being given, and he'll put it out there. Whether he believes it or not, he'll put it out there because that's like, well, this is me now. I guess I'm going to put this out. I've invested in this. I need to follow through.
I have a question for Corbell. What was his first heartbreak in UFO in all of ufology? When did he have his first heartbreak? When was the first thing that he thought was real that came up to not be real? I've never heard him answer that. And I've been thinking a lot lately when he starts talking about the remote viewing and all that stuff. I think to myself, does he really not know? Like, does he really believe all of this stuff still? He still hasn't had that moment of, oh, there's a lot of this that's fake. I wonder.
He's a smart guy. He's 100%.
He is smart. That's why I kind of wonder, has he not had that heartbreak yet? Everybody has that heartbreak, man. If you really want to know the truth, everyone always has that moment. And he still thinks, I mean, he portrays the whole Lazar thing to be true, even with all the evidence that goes against it.
Did you not find the new episode of Weaponized? He seems like he was forcing it a little bit. He was trying too hard. Did you guys get that impression at all? It's almost like he knew that it was failing, and he was trying to back up his own beliefs to say.
I think I genuinely think that, and I think Lou said this on his show the other day. And he said it was a rumor. I've seen these rumors that he's talking about. I don't know if you guys saw the latest Lou reviews.
Yeah, he said it. He said it a few months ago, Ali. That they only had like a few months of the show left. Yeah, that's what Corbell said a few months ago.
No, but he said that, and this is something that I've seen, that apparently either Corbell's in some sort of trouble.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or something's trouble. I don't think it's trouble. I think something's troubling him. I think he's nervous about. I think he's nervous about something.
He's made a lot of promises, man. In my opinion, at least like insinuated that we're getting disclosure, man, in so many ways, and it doesn't look like we're getting.
I don't think he'd be bothered about us. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I don't think that would affect his character. Like, if you just look at him, the next few things that he's in, just watch him. Watch his mannerisms. Watch him. He's jittery. He like there's something on his mind. He's like this. He's very kind of like it's nervy. It's not drugs or anything like that. He is nervous. There's some sort of nervous thing going on with him.
Maybe.
And that's not always been there, because I've only just started to notice it recently.
It might just be having a bad day, Ollie. You never know,
True,
mate.
too, yeah.
It's a few bad days. Because he does the exact same thing, and you might even see it when we do the outro. But he does the exact same thing when he's at the congressional hearing.
Well,
I could be reading into it.
I don't know. I think that's possible, Ali. I think it's definitely possible that there's something bigger, but I think it's I don't know if it's very fair to say that the whole UFO community couldn't also do that. If you were him making all the claims he's made over the last 2-3 years, dude, and you see this thing coming to an end, come on. He's got to be a little bit nervous about it too. They come out of the skiff and there's nothing. Oh man, what's next? You know, you gotta, how do I keep selling this thing? I'd be nervous too, dude. I'd be nervous.
I think that's why he's holding on to his footage. You know, he's got plenty of footage to put out.
You think he's holding on to something else?
Oh yeah. No, it's just flare footage. He's just waiting for the right moment.
You think he's got the next drop?
Yeah. I said that. I said nothing is going to happen for the remainder of the year, and then what's going to happen by probably December, he's going to release one of those shitty ball footage that he said he got from a whistleblower, and you know, it's the same repeat. Nothing burger, unfortunately.
Ali, that's my prediction anyway. He needs us, Ali. Elizondo learned that he needed the community to be on his side. We're just as important. I mean, if he doesn't have who's Corbell without ufology? I don't know. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know if anybody cares. You know, I think it's a big deal, man. I wouldn't short us on this, Ali. I think you're right in the sense there could be something ahead. I agree. I wouldn't short the community on that, man. Elizondo shorted the community and he learned. You know,
listen, like Ice Cream, I agree exactly with what you're saying there. So why put a time limit on weaponized, unless that's some sort of kind of like to get the hook?
Well, it's also they're probably realizing that he can't do a show every week. When there's nothing going on, when Congress turns their back, what's he going to do a show on?
We do it.
Yeah, but it's no. I think it's different though. I mean, he's coming from a side of like he's got all the answers and he's predicting the scene here and they're running it. That's different. We're more commentating on the whole process and what's going on. You know, we're reacting when he's supposedly doing more behind the scenes with inside sources and stuff like that. I don't have any inside sources. I don't think any of you guys have any inside sources. So I think the way we do things is still very different. But long term, I mean, if they stop doing the show and things slow down, then he can work on a documentary, or he can, you know, take more time in between segments and move that way. That's my opinion, man. I don't know.
To make a documentary about what?
Shit. I mean, he made a documentary about Lazar, and what was that about? I mean, what did that where'd that get us? Anywhere with Lazar? No. Still in the same position that we've always been. They had the opportunity to take his ass to Congress. They didn't do it. What's he gonna? That's his next documentary I want to see from Corbell. Why we didn't take the firsthand supposed whistleblower to Congress. I want to see that. Give me that reason. Give me that story. You know?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens with it. And also, let's see where Sean Kirkpatrick ends up. and most of all, what his replacement is actually like.
It'd be interesting, yeah.
I guarantee it's probably gonna be a woman. Don't know.
No, we've already got the download. It's a guy.
He means like for the main pick, not the interim.
Yeah, the
main pick, yeah.
Yeah. Because of the theme of ufology, it seems to be like these hot women, these MILFs that sort of pop up now and then.
I think we need more ladies in the
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. Bring it. Yeah.
Too many blokes in.
It's a sausage fest, isn't it? Ufology is a bloody sausage fest.
I want to start bringing on some young ladies on Alien Addict.
Yeah, some clam slappers. Let's go.
Good thing it's 2 hours and 10 minutes in, Ali. Good thing, you know.
Yeah,
ruined it.
No, boys, it's been a pleasure. Guys, make sure you go down. You check out Terrestrial Material and the Cosmic Twilight. Terrestrial Material did a great interview with Cosmic Twilight, which is all about Nazi UFOs and all that jazz. It's fantastic. It's a great watch. I nearly called you the name, Nick. I nearly called you the name.
Nazi Nick.
Yeah.
On Nazi Nick. Catching on,
Yeah.
It's got a ring to it.
It's got a ring to it. You listen, if you could call a YouTube channel that and get away with it, it'd be absolutely brilliant. But people would take it the wrong way and think this guy's a Nazi.
Oh, especially these days. Yeah.
True.
Absolutely.
But Nick, you've got a documentary in the making.
Slight documentary. I'm working on my next episode, guys. It's going to be an hour long. I'm literally editing it as I speak. So yeah, just stay tuned.
When
I might
do
do
you think it's coming out?
Fuck knows, Ollie. I don't know, man. I do what I can. I give it probably by next week. Yeah, by next week. I'll keep everyone informed and everything. So yeah.
Beautiful. So yeah, go check that out, guys. And yes, Sunday, people. A case that we've spoken about it a few times, and I'm very interested to see what this guy has to say on Alien Addict for a long haul interview, because it's been a long time coming. There we go. We've got Ashton Forbes coming on this Sunday. It's going to be 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in for that. We have literally Lee's been working his bollocks off getting loads of interviews lined up for us. So I think we've got like up until Christmas a load of interviews booked up. So
that's cool, man.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, people. So yeah, make sure you hit the bell, hit the like if you like what you see. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. The YouTube still recognizes that as a good thing. So there you go. If you've made it this far and you've not subscribed, what you're doing, subscribe. If you'd like to become a channel member, it does mean a lot and it helps us out on YouTube. You can become a Patreon and just help us out a little bit on there. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you all. You've stuck with us for this long. The channel it's taken a lot of different changes over the years, but I think we're kind of finding our ground now with all this. We're definitely into it. So yeah. Alien Addict people, you know what to do. Good night, God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. The buggers don't bite. Yeah, buggers. Why not? Good night.
Mr. Grusch, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
I know the exact locations, and those locations were provided to the Inspector General and some of which to the intelligence committees. I actually had the people with the firsthand knowledge provide a protected disclosure to the Inspector General.
You can say categorically you've seen no convincing,
I have seen
confirmable
no
evidence
convincing-
of intact spacecraft kept by the U.S. government.
No, I have seen nothing that leads me to that conclusion.
Is it possible there is some secret program that you're just not aware of?
I don't think so. I have access to anything and everything I need.
Why do you think these whistleblowers are coming forward?
Well, one, I think the recent law, which extended whistleblower protections to them and named AARO as the authorized disclosure authority, opens the door for them to come and tell us exactly what they think they saw or know about.
You believe them?
I believe that they believe what they're telling me, and my job is not to, it's not a question of belief, right? It's a question of what can I go research. This is a typical example of the thing that we see most of. We see these all over the world, and we see these in making very interesting apparent maneuvers.
Do you think extraterrestrial life is out there?
I think it's statistically unrealistic to think it isn't. I mean, given the vastness of the universe.
Are you going to find it on your watch?
Well, wouldn't that be fun? I mean, that would be probably the best outcome of this job.
Good job, Sean. Good job. Good job. Right with you, brother. Make sure you tune in Sunday, people. Ashton Forbes, live on Alien Night, 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Touch my nipples.
Mills for ufology.